1925, that's when Rolls-Royce launched the Phantom. Known as the best car in the world, it's been around for 100 years. And here today in Pune, we have a collection of every single one bar one. Yes, this is Yohan Poonawalla's insane collection of 7 Phantoms. And we're here today in Pune to celebrate with them. Now with a massive collection like these, I'm going to need some help to run you through each of these cars. So I'm going to phone a friend and ask him if he can help. He's someone who knows these cars inside out, has intricate details and special memories. And once that is done, I'm going to pick a few of these legends and see what they are like from behind the wheel. It's going to be a fun day. Stay with us.
So where do we start? How about Yohan's first one?
So I think the P3 or the Phantom 3 was your first Phantom of this lot, right?
Right. So I was fresh out of school in the early 90s and I had started collecting cars at that time. They were more basic cars, to say the least. But I always had a special affinity towards the Rolls-Royce marquee. So in the year 2000, I got offered this very special Phantom 3 of all Rolls-Royces, and it's from the state of Panchkot. So I sent someone across quickly and closed the transaction.
What is the most special memory you have of this car? And tell us something about some personal details on this car.
Of course, it's my first own Rolls-Royce that I bought with my own money, so it has special memories.
And today you have how many?
I'm at number 22. It's a V12. It was the only model that Rolls-Royce made in the V12, a derivation of the Spitfire Merlin engine.
What was the next car you got?
Well, the next car I got is that lovely Phantom 7 over there.
The P7?
Yes.
Which we were driving in Dubai.
Right, absolutely. The first Goodwood Phantom and the first Phantom to come to India.
And as it happens, another V12. And the next V12 are for the 3.
To V12, yes.
Yes.
So it's in this beautiful black and silver. It's got a Lalique spirit of ecstasy.
You ordered it in a special color?
Yes, in this special black and silver two-tone.
When I went to Goodwood, they told me of a customer who's ordered this first time, and they were a little hesitant to supply it, but then they made it for you, and after that it created a trend.
Well, fantastic to hear that. I like setting trends.
But I remember that really clearly.
And when I customized this car with the P logos on the C pillar, on the headrest, Poonawalla on the dashboard, and hand-built for Poonawalla on the door sills, Rolls-Royce actually did that all for me completely complimentary, because they were launching in India. They wanted to do the launch with a big bang, and it was all over the international media as well, New York Times, BBC Radio, and it was great.
And that's the thing, I think India has been such an intrinsic part of the Phantom story and the Rolls-Royce story, especially the custom part, because every ruler in India ordered only a custom car. No one bought a standard car. And I think that's just what you've done.
Absolutely, and I like doing that with all my cars.
So Yohan, what's next after the P7?
That beautiful Phantom 2 Continental. I happened to see this car at the launch of the Phantom 8 at Bonham's in Bond Street. And I actually fell in love with this car. It was, I remember, 2017.
And it's also got a special siren, right?
Yes. So he was knighted, and then he was called Sir Captain Malcolm Campbell. And he was accorded police rank.
Okay.
So he was allowed to fit this special police siren here, which I'm just going to sound.
Imagine getting to put that on when you want to drive fast.
Absolutely.
Now these two state limos you purchased in close proximity to each other, correct? And these are special cars. They're not just Phantoms, they're special Phantoms, right?
Yes, they were in close proximity. one after another. They are special Phantoms. And at this point, I actually realized that a trend was forming, a Phantom trend. So I decided that now I must endeavor to start completing the entire range.
This one must have been a favorite of the Queen. I believe she used to use it for many years together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think close to 40 years. So it was a favorite
40
of the
years?
royal household, yes.
My God.
It's in the royal colors. As you can see, there's the UK and the American flag. So actually what they did is, whichever state visit that took place, there would be the UK flag and the country flag on the other side. So I've got a few flags that came with the car. I have a Japanese flag. I have a Swedish flag. The car actually went to Sweden with the Queen on a special state visit, and I have photographs of those.
Fantastic. So it's not just the Queen, it's also a lot of heads of state who sat in this car.
Absolutely. Plenty, many.
Super. And I remember seeing you drive this car all over Dubai and you were really gunning it, and she still runs beautifully.
Absolutely. We did 1,000 miles without any issues. She drives beautifully, and it was a pleasure on those lovely roads.
And the Emir of Qatar's car, that was soon after?
Yes, very soon after. And this car was in America actually. And it got offered to me through someone who helps me with my various acquisitions. So again, it's a very special car because it's a 1962 Geneva International motor car.
Okay, it's the one that he used at the show.
Yes, and he bought it at his show and it was delivered to his Geneva address.
Okay.
New. And of course, she went back to the Geneva International Motor Show in Qatar though in 2023, and she was the star car at that show.
Oh, right, absolutely.
Actually, it was a second unveiling for the car at that show. It's a body by James Young, who are known for their elegant lines.
Now this is the 5, that's the 6, but of course there's no 4. Only 18 made in the world, 16 survived, that's the legend. Are you still looking for it?
Yes, I am. 16 survive, as you mentioned, most of them in museums.
Okay.
But I am going to get hold of one sooner than later.
Fantastic.
Will that make Yohan Poonawalla the only collector with a complete set? Now for probably the most alluring one of all, and the one with some unreal provenance.
Now 17EX, Henry Royce himself worked on this and it was built to do 100 miles an hour. That's right?
Yes, that's right, because he wanted to beat Bentley at Le Mans. So he decided to build this very special car with a special one-off engine, a special one-off gearbox, and this special one-off body designed by Jarvis of Wimbledon that actually built the Bluebird cars for Sir Malcolm Campbell
and the connection.
In the 30s. So now I have a connection of these two very special cars.
Now in the Rolls-Royce world, EX means experimental, but how did this car go to Kashmir?
Well, the Maharaja of Kashmir was a big patron of Rolls-Royce and he loved Rolls-Royce cars. So I guessed he must have approached them because the factory, the car was owned by the factory. And obviously Rolls-Royce couldn't refuse the Maharaja.
Exactly. They were their best patrons.
Yes.
Now from the oldest to the youngest, the P8, the Phantom 8. Now this P8 is special as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. The latest crown jewel in my collection. And she's not only the last EWB Phantom, but she's also the last privacy suite car in the world. So there's a special, there's a special story behind it. Rolls-Royce were phasing out their privacy suite models. And in fact, they had closed the order book. And I managed to reach out to the chairman of Rolls-Royce and I made a special request to him to customize or to allow me to book the last privacy suite car in the world. So now it's a very special historic car.
Fantastic to have them all here together in India and for people in India to be able to see them in various cities. Lovely.
Absolutely. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity that I didn't want to miss. First in Indian history, though it took a lot of time and effort, but it's been worth it in the end.
Time for a rare insight to see what these cars are like from behind the wheel. The two obvious ones are the Phantom 1 or 17EX and the Phantom 6, the last one made before BMW took over Rolls-Royce. First up, the speed demon of the day, and yes, taking a look at the cabin does tell you a lot. Now, starting up this car is a procedure. It needs a careful balance of ignition timing and fuel air mixture, and then you need a deft tap on the starter button with your left foot.
Like that. Slot it into first, and away we go. The horn does come in the way, especially when you cross your hands, but nice burst of acceleration and then quickly into second, and that's what keeps it motoring along pretty smoothly.
The massive 7.7 litre straight 6 is dripping with character and has a smooth, frictionless mechanical note, almost like the crankshaft is churning oil, which it probably is.
And of course, this massive 7-litre engine has plenty of urge, so all you need to do is just get it above idle and it moves quite easily. I've put it in third gear at walking speed and it's pulling forward effortlessly.
What you need to remember is that this is a 100-year-old car that's been pushed to the edges of its performance envelope. So the controls are heavy, it's difficult to drive, and the brakes, by today's standards, feel rudimentary. The gearbox, however, is also not synchronized, so double declutching is the order of the day. Let's see how well I can manage.
Clean shifts. It takes a bit of work.
What makes it even more difficult is that the steering is super heavy.
The big takeaway is that the steering is quite heavy and it takes a lot to get used to.
As expected, the suspension here isn't the standard comfort-driven Rolls-Royce fare. It's designed to do 100 miles an hour, so it has to be stiff. Little wonder then that Rolls evolved the Phantom 2 suspension from the cantilever to the better riding semi-elliptical type. Transitioning to the Phantom 6 is like stepping into another world. The rear is literally as comfortable as Blenheim Palace. The massive sofa, the deep pile carpet, the acres of legroom make it incredibly relaxing. And the 6 clearly looks the part on the outside, imposing, superfluous, gargantuan, but still elegant.
Foot on the brake, pull this very slim stalk down into D. It's a very light movement, but extremely well damped, and it takes off with the smoothest of curves. So impressive. This car is silky smooth. As smooth as you can imagine. Can barely hear the engine, and the gearbox shifts so softly. Oh my god, what a comfortable ride. It's just gliding over all the bumps. It's difficult to believe it's so comfortable, and yes, even with ribs on the road, this thing is hardly moving. There's a pothole there and one again, but while the car dips only slightly, it's super smooth. It truly is incredible. Even with the windows down, I can barely hear the engine. It doesn't feel like it's a combustion engine at all. It doesn't feel like it has pistons. It's just incredibly smooth. Of course, sat here up front with this thin rim steering wheel. It's a bit ungainly, especially when you consider the length, but it does heel pretty nicely. And yes, the smoothness is incredible. This is the last Phantom Rolls-Royce made before being bought over by BMW. And those qualities of super refinement, effortless performance, extreme luxury, and impeccable build quality can all be seen right here on this car. What a contrast from the Phantom 1. That car was built for speed. This one is built for comfort, refinement, and it just does an exceptional job. And I can't quite believe it, I'm driving the Queen's car.
It's the last of the traditional Phantoms, a car that defined luxury in its purest form. Also one BMW successfully carried on from when it resurrected the brand. Together, the Phantom 1 or 17EX and the Phantom 6 show the breadth of Rolls-Royce engineering. That Rolls-Royce's Phantom represents the pinnacle of motoring was never in doubt. But to be able to do it for over 100 years, well, that truly is special.